Hi all, I'm Joe with Youngblood Family Farms, Adequate Acres, where we're pretty good with just being okay. And I'm a husband of one and a father of five, and this is my workshop. It doesn't look like much, but well, let me show you what we're doing. Been very quiet lately, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I do work a full-time job, and I have 5 children, and a couple of them are becoming very active in school and sports and whatnot. I think a lot of you guys can understand that, and so the busyness is upon us. So I've been saving up to do this project for a while, and I'm going to only get a couple walls of this workshop done this year, but we're working on it nonetheless. And so after doing a lot of research and probably overthinking things, this is what I've decided to do. Inside my barn is a 48 by 48 barn, and inside of it I have a 16 by 24 foot loft, and I will be turning 16 by 36 of it into a workshop. It will probably take me 2 or 3 years to save up the funds for it, unless YouTube starts paying more or people buy me on a syrup. One of the two. It'll take a few years. So let me show you what we're doing here. Along the outside walls, you can see I've got 1 sheet of plywood done, and I'll kind of show you guys what we've been doing. This is more for my sake than yours, but if you find this helpful, then great. In between my purlings, I have 1-inch foam board. It is R5. I ripped it pretty small so that it is a very snug fit. Came back and caulked it. You can see that along the posts I have great stuffed. Came along a 2x4 on top, so they're toenailed on the bottom plate, and they stick up past my purlings up there. And then we came along with an R11 insulation, and that R11 will still allow about a 2-inch air gap in between the it's a mineral wool type insulation, and then that foam board, so we should be up near R18 or so. And so we have this wall to do, and then we are going to start working our way around the rest of the exterior walls. And so this winter's dream is to get about half of this walled up and insulated. And this is the process, and I will continue to bring you along, and this clip may be several weeks worth of video, but like I said, it's more for me than for you. It's kind of fun to look back on, and if you find this helpful, outstanding. So stay with us. So I really struggle. I don't know what the lighting's horrible in here, but I really struggle with recording videos or recording even the history of what I'm doing here when it takes several days and then compiling it together. Some people are very good at time lapses. I am really quite slow at construction, and so it would be really hard for me to work that in. So you saw kind of how I am doing the insulation. So I have foam, and then I have fiberglass, and then I have 7/16 OSB. I believe 7/16 is something like 0.5 R value, which, it keeps adding to that, keeping the heat in. And I don't know, right now you can see that, we're not containing any heat this year, but our goal is to build some kind of wall and some kind of structure and then, you know, on the other side of this 2x6 wall, hoping to build some shelves, just because, you know, I could sit here and say, sorry about the mess, but, you know, it's a mess. We have our hands in so many different projects, and you need the tools and the supplies to do this project or do this project, and then it sets, you know. I've got my syrup supplies, and then they set for, you know, 47 weeks out of a year, and then you get them back out. And so we've got a lot of that stuff as we do this super small farm scale type stuff. So this is where we're at. I have completed that 16-foot wall. I still have up above the header, I still have to kind of tuck the insulation over, and then I'm going to lay some foam board and probably even put 2x6 in between the headers just to kind of tie that off. I need to get some of the foam rafter pieces eventually after I get a ceiling in. I'm planning on using cellulose above the ceiling in here. You can see I've gotten 2 sheets out here, so 8 foot, and then I need to move my tool cabinet before I get to this header here. So I've got my 2x6 wall here. I want my 2x6 on the inside wall. I mostly did that just to flush with the posts. And then you could see, let me see if I can back up for you. Trying to show you some of the stuff without showing all my junk, you know. I've got this little triangle underneath the lean-to of the barn, and so I will put a beam across here and then run flat ceiling rafters across. I will probably work on this wall a little bit, and then I will kind of bring you back in for a little bit of conclusion of, I guess, at least this edition of, you know, the workshop. So that's what we're working on. Thanks for your patience. All right, folks. Like I said, I work way too slow for any kind of time lapse, but I know that this project is going to take much longer than one video, and honestly, I don't know that it can even be a series, as you know, limited resources and whatnot. So this is what I got done, and then I will make this into a video clip and move on. So until I can move my big tool cabinet, I cannot finish up to this post right here. I will put a stud in right along the window, and then I will have to put a beam going across. Let me back up as far as I can so you can see that I have the lean-to coming up down to the barn. I will put a beam across the loft, and then I will run ceiling joists across to kind of flatten that off, and then to support the ceiling joists or the beam, I will have a 2x6 supporting that, and then I'll also harness it to the post there. So I've gotten this wall done all the way around. And then you see a big old wall of OSB wired. I put an outlet on the other side of the wall as well. Junction boxes are not supposed to be inside the wall, so I've got a little bit of figuring to do. I've got that little cutout there. Wanted to make sure that I had access to that junction box. I got to figure out how to insulate that. That blue board there is R5. I'm not sure if I want to put any more insulation in that spot, or if I'm just going to encapsulate some blue board on the back side of this wall. This project will continue. I've got my loft. My loft is 24 foot deep. I will, after the cabinets moved, I will continue to do these walls and come down and along that wall and then start working my way back up. Plan for the installation is on the ceiling is to OSB it all and then to fill these cavities with cellulose and then to put cellulose above these ceiling rafters when they're in place. So got a few more boards, another sheet of plywood to finish off this little area here, and then I've got to save back up. Had some money come in from syrup sales come Christmas. YouTube trickles in a little bit. I got a little personal money for Christmas. And so, you know, Christmas gift cards, stuff like that. And so I will just kind of nickel and dime, putting away, you know, hopefully I'll have a workshop in a couple years. And it's nice to have some walls in place. I will make it a priority. I've got to clean up. That's definitely the fact. But along this outside wall, you can see I left one outlet there. Then I got another outlet still along that outside wall. So I'm going to build a metal shelf coming across here, or wood shelf coming across here, and then coming out this way some. As you can see, a lot of that is garbage, but underneath there I got a pallet full of some tools and whatnot. Got shop vacs, you know, I got my electrical tools. You know, I've got some of these tools, and you know, floor space is all well and good. This is a 48 by 48 shop, but to have some vertical storage, some things just need to be stored, and some things, you know, need to go away too. But some of them just need floor space. A truck needs floor space. A tractor needs floor space. A shop vac or a router or stuff like that can be put on a shelf. So we need to build some shelves. So I guess that's a goal in 2020, is to get organized and get rid of the junk. So that's it. That's I will start recording after I process this one, and we'll just keep moving forward. So thanks for joining me on this workshop project. Bye.